How aggressive should the Washington Wizards be in the 2025 NBA draft? Should they trade back into the first round or in the lottery? I think they should. Come on, we're going to talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Don't forget, your favorite podcast now has its new newsletter, introducing the Locked On Wizards Daily Newsletter, a one-stop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com and start your day with all new free Locked On Wizards newsletter. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet win. It's that easy, everybody. All right, everybody. It's your guy, BScott, with my guy, AB. A lot to talk about tonight. Should the Washington Wizards be aggressive in the upcoming draft? Should they try to trade back into the lottery? I think so. And then we're going to do a preview for tomorrow night's game in Toronto versus Raptors. But before we start, let me do a shout out for everybody. And man, as everybody knows, kind of put on kind of put it on the YouTube side of things. Had a really tough 24 hours, 48 hours, man. But like I said, shout out to everybody, man. A lot of love, a lot of prayers, a lot of thoughts, man. And it meant a lot to not only myself, but to my family. Shout out to my guy AB. Shout out to my guy Ed. Shout out to my guy Wiz Takes, DC Hoopla. You know, all of them hit me up, asking me, if I was good, if I needed anything. So, like I said, it's all love, guys. I definitely appreciate everybody just taking time out of their day to make sure I was doing all right, make sure my family's doing all right, man. It means a lot. And like I said, this channel's grown. I love what I do. It's been very, very cool getting to know a lot of people. Met a lot of good people doing this, man. So like I said, we have a good community in here, and it's all love, man. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. So like I said, if I'm not my enthusiastic self like I usually am, you guys kind of understand. But like I said, I definitely wanted to get out here and get some content to you guys. So that being tonight, like I said, should the Washington Wizards be aggressive in the upcoming draft? I think they should. So should they trade back into the lottery? We're going to look at 4 prospects that I think should definitely be the target if the Wizards want to move back into the lottery. And then we're going to do a preview for tomorrow night's game against the Toronto Raptors. We will be going live tomorrow night, so definitely tune in for that. All right, AB, let's get into this thing, man. I guess it's the 2-part question. How aggressive should the Washington Wizards be in this upcoming draft, AB? And should they try to trade back into the lottery?
Yeah, we've seen this past year, 3 first-round picks, and they've all been playing. I mean, we've seen the really highs from them and seen the lows, but there's been way more highs. And you see this draft class, why not do it again? Why not run it back? You have the draft capital. You have a lot of those second-round picks. Again, like the prospects that are there, like I think a lot of experts and analysts are saying that this draft class was better than last year. And obviously, outside that top 3 pick or top 5 pick that hopefully we'll have, you got to get another guy in there because again, we're a young team, and I think Will Dawkins and this company wants to build this team like how he did in OKC. You get all these young guys and develop them, and they fit the timeline. And I legitimately see a scenario where they do trade back in. Now, I don't know who it could be. That's going to be fun to talk about. But I could definitely see a draft night where the Wizards, we can't go to sleep right after that second first-round pick. We go back, and I don't know what range, but whoever it is, I have full trust in Will Dawkins and his crew.
No, I agree 100%, man. I think that Will Dawkins has shown that he's willing to be aggressive in the NBA draft, something we haven't seen in a long time at DC in the general manager's office, man. I mean, for the longest running ground, we just missed on picks flat out. And with Tommy, the picks didn't match the timeline and what the team was doing at the time. But looking at Will Dawkins, he's shown that he's going to be very aggressive. I think you should definitely try to trade back in the lottery. Now, I'll say this. I do have faith that he's going to get the most out of that second first-round pick in the later stages of the first round. Guys I'm looking at is Danny Wolf out of Michigan. I think we definitely try to add another 7-footer to compete with Tristan Vucevic and really, have some depth behind Alex Sarr. And who knows, Alex Sarr could be there's a lot of capabilities, a lot of versatility. But like I said, I got 4 names that I'm going to pop out there because I think they should definitely try to trade back in this lottery. 2 things to kind of think about real quick. A lot of tough decisions within the next couple of years, AB. This week coming up, everybody, we're going to talk about a lot of decisions coming up. A lot of guys who could be long-term pieces, but there's going to be a lot of money flying around in the next couple of years because Bilal's coming up. You got to decide whether, Jordan Poole, to me, I think he's definitely a guy you keep around. I think he's a guy who definitely fits here long-term, especially you look at age and ability. Same thing with Sadiq Bey, same thing with Corey Kispert. But like I said, we're going to talk about that this week coming up. But tonight is purely to the draft, everybody. So 4 people to look at real quick. And these are the guys that I would target if we trade back in this lottery. All right, number 1, Derek Queen. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people who watch the show, high on Derek Queen out of the University of Maryland. So looking at Derek Queen real quick, AB, 6'9", 230 pounds. He's a freshman at the University of Maryland. And looking at his scouting report real quick, he's a big bodied power forward / center who is a force down low, has nimble feet and a knack for scoring in the lane, has good but not great size, and could struggle to guard in space at the next level. So AB, to me, I think he could fit nicely next to Alex Sarr. Yeah, at the center position, he's undersized. I mean, he's 6'9". He's got the weight to a certain degree, 230 pounds. But at 6'9", he's definitely going to be undersized. Kind of reminds you of Rashawn Holmes, but he could slide in at the 4. Like I said, I think when kind of something to think about, everybody, is that when you look at a lot of these draft choices, it really depends on what we do with the first pick. Because if you get Cooper Flagg, yes, Cooper Flagg could fit at power forward, right? But he could also play small forward. And in that event, you're probably looking at a scenario where Bilal Coulibaly goes to the 2. So a lot of dominoes need to fall, and we're going to get a clearer vision of how they want to build this roster going forward. But in the event of Derek Queen, you're probably presuming we don't get Cooper Flagg. And you're probably looking at we added Dylan Harper or Ace Belly. So in that event, I would slide Bilal to the 2. So Derek Queen, he's a monster. I mean, look, AB, at one point, he was a later first-round pick in a lot of mock drafts, man. Now he's sliding up the draft boards, and right now people looking at him as a top 10 pick. So, I mean, do you like the move, and where do you see him fitting if we
it's kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure he went to Mount Vernon with Cooper Flagg, and those two were like the same. That's insane. But again, obviously, I love Cooper Flagg, but Derek Queen, double machine. The numbers that he's been putting up recently, it does suck because, like, obviously now that he's playing better, he's gonna go earlier. Yeah. But at the end of the day, why not bring him home? If you don't somehow manage to get Cooper Flagg, that man, again, his ability to score at will offensively, and who knows what happens with Alex Sarr. Obviously, we're hoping that he pans out to be an all-star. But at the end of the day, Derek Queen, he's proven that he can ball out as a freshman, and he's so young, and the potential is through the roof.
Yeah, I like Derek Queen. Now, I'll say this. When you look at the biggest hit with Derek Queen is this: versatility. All right, he's not a guy who's going to be able to play small forward, and he's a guy who's undersized at center. So there are limitations, especially when you look at offense. Now, defensively, you see a lot of energy, but offensively, he's a guy. We do need more paint scoring, but offensively, very limited. Because if you look at the modern day NBA, 1 through 5 is 3 and D in versatility. You need guys who can defend and play multiple positions. You need guys who can shoot the 3-point shot and score in the paint. And he just doesn't fit the modern day. But here's the thing: not every player does. And I think that we look at the success that Rashawn Holmes has had. High energy guys can't succeed in the NBA. So he's a high energy guy. He's got linked to the area. University of Maryland guy. So I think that he could fit. But here's the thing: you do take a hit when it comes to shooting. And with Alex Sarr still kind of finding that consistency with his shot. Having a guy in the front court who doesn't have much of a shot. And I think that that's an area that he will work on. You saw guys in the previous draft who weren't shooters who are starting to add that 3-point shot. When you look at Donovan Clean, you see him starting to stretch the floor a lot more. And, to a certain degree, Zach Edey is starting to take that shot, a lot more. So I think he's a guy who can definitely develop that. Development is the name of the game here, right? So I'm intrigued by it. Another guy I'm intrigued in is Asa Newell, man. Let's take a look at his scouting report real quick. Asa Newell. And he is intriguing. He features more as a power forward, 6'10", 220 pounds. Now, looking at Newell, now the comparison for me kind of had me scratch my head a little bit. They compare him to Joakim Noah. I don't see that because Noah couldn't shoot the 3-point shot. Newell, it says here, is a hyperactive big forward with springs in his legs. So he's athletic. He can attack. He works hard on the court and does all of the dirty work. He's very efficient with his touches. He can hit the 3-point shot. His stock is moving up. While he doesn't have the elite size, he's got a nice mix of athletic tools, talent, and floor spacing ability. So, I mean, like we were just talking about, how do you fit in offensively? I think he's a guy who is another weapon on offense, especially when Alex Sarr figures it out, man. When you have a couple guys who can stretch the floor, who can defend, who are versatile in the front court, that's a very, that's man, I'm telling you, there's going to be a nasty front court. So I also know a guy that I would definitely target, man. I think he can slide in the power forward. And again, I'm not going to keep saying this, but again, it really depends on who we go with our first round pick, because Cooper Flagg, and here's the thing with Cooper Flagg, he can play small forward, and he's looked pretty good at Duke, man. He's played both forward positions, and he has succeeded. I mean, he's a guy where, Bilal has shown enough where I think he can make that transition to 2 guard, and he brings size, he brings defense, especially if you look at Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has gotten better with his defense. I think we don't give enough credit to Jordan Poole with how much progress he's made defensively. Last year, not his best year defensively. This year, you see a lot more energy on the defensive end. So, Bilal brings more defense to that backcourt. And Bub is another guard who defends well, in my opinion. So defense looks like is the name of the game in Washington. And I think that Asa Newell could definitely come in and do a good job. So, all right, everybody, we got a few more names we're going to go over. Egor Demin, a lot of people can talk about him out of BYU. And Maluach, man, if we, he could be the answer is shifting Sar to the 4. So we're going to talk about both of them and get into tomorrow night's preview for the Toronto Raptors. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Prizepicks. Basketball season is heating up, everybody. There's no better way to get in on action than with Prizepicks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. Because with Prizepicks, you can just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It's easy to use, available in over 30 states, and lets you mix and match projections across different sports. All right, so guys, I say it all the time, Prizepicks is easy money. It's easy money. I mean, you can build lineups. It's so it's quick and easy. There's so many different reasons why you should definitely rock with them. Fast payouts, man. When you win, your money hits your account in little as 15 minutes. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all. And they got Taco Tuesday deals, man. Every Tuesday, Prizepicks discounts select player projections up to 25%, giving even more value to your lineup. So look, man, all good reasons why you should definitely rock with Prizepicks. Download the app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. All right, AB, we got a few more we're going to talk about real quick, man, and then get into a preview and call it a Friday night, man. So the next name on the list, real quick, AB, a lot of people been talking about this kid, man. I mean, this young man can play out of there at BYU, and we're talking about Egor Demin, man. So let's pull up Egor's scouting report real quick and his intangibles. They got him slotted going to 16 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, AB, real quick, I know we had a watcher, man, a few videos ago who asked about the picks in the OKC. So to kind of answer your question, and I don't have his name there, homie, if you're watching, man, this is kind of to answer your question. So looking at the picks, like I said, the pick that OKC has is Miami. So they're slated to have a pick that right now is around 16th. So that's while I don't think they still won't be in a position to get a very high pick. 16th ain't bad for a team that right now is the best team in the Western Conference. And like I said, we're going to talk about Charles Barkley and Steve A. Smith and all the drama surrounding a lot of stuff in the NBA before we get into comments, man. But that kind of answers your questions real quick with him. But look at that Egor Demin, tall point guard out of Russia, man, currently playing at BYU, 6'9". Demin is a tall lead guard with a unique game, has great court vision, great passing instincts, and an awesome feel for the game at 6'9". He attacks closeouts well and is a good finisher in traffic. And is also capable of shot maker, but not yet consistent from outside. After a great start to the season, his play has fallen off. So they compare him, and this is I swear to the Lord, AB, this is what they compare him to. They are calling him a twitchy Josh Giddey. So I don't know if they're throwing shade or I don't know what's going on with that, man. But to me, he kind of reminds me of, oh man, and it's been a long day, man. But where's the kid that was drafted to OKC? He tore his ACL and he kind of fell off. I know his name, I just can't think of it right now. I know you know what I'm talking about, man.
Is he towards ACL recently, or is
he was drafted last year.
Chet? No, not Chet Holmgren. No. Torn ACL.
He's a taller point guard, man. I have his name. I have to pull it up, man. But real quick, while I think about it, and anybody in the comment section to remind me, definitely help a brother out, man. But look at Demin, man. Taller point guard. And like I said, I got to kind of say this because, again, it really depends on where we go with our first round pick. If you go Dylan Harper, you're probably looking at guard, right? If you go Cooper Flagg, then, like I said, a lot of questions coming up. Me personally, I think Jordan Poole could be a long-term piece. But here's the thing. At what point do you stop subtracting? And that's my thing, is that if you're going to move Corey Kispert, if you're going to potentially move Jordan Poole, you do it this offseason. And the reason for that is that, going into year 3, culture's big, chemistry's big, and you can't continue to move guys out. You got to form something. And I think that Jordan Poole and these young guys have really formed a connection to chemistry. And the same thing, Corey Kispert fits with these young guys, man. And if Will Dawkins is going to make that move, make it this offseason, because you can't wait another year, because that's going to be a huge hit to the chemistry, man. So like I said, Sadiq Bey is another guy where you haven't seen him play yet, but we'll see what we have in him. But at some point you have to build and not so much look at trying to move vets for picks, man, because we have plenty of picks. Obviously, if you're looking at the realm of Sam Presti and the OKC model, you want to add more. But so looking at Demin, you're pretty much, assuming that we don't go point guard with the first round pick, man. So do you like Demin, and what are the kind of the pros and cons you see in his game, man?
Yeah, no, I think the biggest question with Demin, you brought it up, out shooting it from the outside. I was a big fan of Johnny Davis, but his knock in college was just not be able to shoot. So I'm not saying I'm getting PTSD, but at the end of the day, he's a young guy, a freshman, and I guess it goes back to we always you said it, what we do with that first round pick. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to go two guards in the first round. You're going to try to be versatile with this roster, and a lot of interesting situations with Jordan Poole, contract situation. It's going to be really interesting. But this is a good situation to have. The fact that there's going to be a lot of talent on this team, you just got to figure out how to distribute it and who's going to be here for the long term. So I wouldn't mind 6'9" at a guard. I mean, that is insane. But again, it just all goes back to that, what we do with that first round pick. And Demin, you definitely see OKC draft him, especially if they're in that top 15, top 16 range.
And the name just popped up, Nikola Topic. He's kind of the same model, man. He's a taller guard, and he would have been.
He was at Miami, right?
Topic, no, he came from overseas. He's an overseas guy, man. Topic, I gotta pull him up.
Oh no, I'm confusing Nikola Jovic. My bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's another guy that I really, really like. So let me pull him up real quick. Yeah, but Topic is a guy where he's a taller guard, man. So he kind of reminds me of him, a taller guard where he can finish. He's crafty. You see the vision, but the 3-point shot in the mid range just ain't quite there. But like I said, I think he would match well long term with Bub Carrington. I think he could fit in with Jordan Poole. All depends what the vision is, because like I said, love me some JP13. Love Corey Kispert, man. I'm a fan of both their games, man, especially JP13. But here's the thing, tough decision, especially salary wise, man, because if you look at JP's 13's contract, man, prospectively, when his contract ends, Bilal's that first extension. So could they still re-sign him and, extend Bilal? Absolutely. But like I said, it really goes looking at ownership. Is ownership willing to go into the luxury tax? Because the fact of the matter is, you have a lot of young guys you're going to re-sign, and not everybody's going to be here, man. You got 3 guys in the previous draft. You got 2 guys with Bilal, interest, Vucevic, the draft before that. Then we got 2 first-round picks in the next couple drafts. So unfortunately, not everybody's going to be part of the process. And like I said, but Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart have both shown, and Jordan Poole and Corey Kispert have all shown that veterans are needed on this team. So, looking at Jordan Poole, he's a guy who's a fringe all-star who hasn't in his prime yet. I think you keep him around. Corey Kispert, the same thing. I think you keep him around. Denny was a guy that I thought they should keep around, because these are guys who fit the timeline, and they bring experience. They've been part of the process here in DC. So I think you definitely keep them around. So Demin, I think, would be a solid addition. So real quick, last name, and then we're going to do a very quick preview and then get into comments, guys. Like I said, it's been a long couple of days, man, but I wanted to get this content out to you guys, man. Like I said, my kids love watching my stuff, and they love watching basketball with me, man. So like I said, this is, I definitely wanted to do content for y'all and for my kiddos, man. So, all right, last guy on the list is Common Maluach, man, and very tall center out of Duke, man, or my wife would say the school in Durham. So let's see. Let's pull it up real quick. All right, my guy. He's out of South Sudan, but he is currently going to Duke.
Those boys out of South Sudan are huge. They're like at minimum 6'5".
I'm telling you, man, South Sudan, Mali, there's a lot of talent that comes out of that area of the world, man. Like I said, Bilal is French, but his family is originally from Mali, man. So you see a lot of what was it? Bo. I'm trying to remember where Bobo was from, but I believe it was Sudan. A lot of talent comes out of North Africa, West Africa, Africa. Like I said, my father's Nigerian, man. So like I said, Jan Santos-Kubo is of Nigerian descent. So a lot of talent comes out of that part of the world, man. And that's the beautiful thing about the NBA, man, is that there is so much high-end talent from all over the place, man. Europe, Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Latin America. I mean, everywhere, man. So let's see real quick. Let me get into him. He's 7'2", good Lord, 250 pounds with a 7'6" wing frame. Wingspan, that is. Like I've been talking about a 757. Let's see. Maluach is an intriguing big man who has great length, size, and upside. He defends the rim well and can step out on offense and hit the 3-point shot. He needs to get stronger and play with more aggression. All right, kind of reminds you of somebody, but the tools are all there, and the flashes he shows are really impressive. He seems to be getting better and better every week. So, AB, is it just me, or does he kind of just mirror Alex Sarr, man?
Yeah, no, definitely with that comment of lack of aggression. But you said it gets better every week, and that's great to see because we saw that with Alex Sarr. Now he is playing at Duke, so a lot of that star light or that spotlight is going to Cooper Flag and the other guys they have there. So honestly, that's at that size, like there's no way you can't not consider him. And a young guy, a freshman, it's just like the potential and the fact that it's getting better every week. That's just something that you just, as a GM, if you're Will Dawkins, you're going to be like, yo, this guy's young. The potential is there. Now, granted, if they see it's like an Alex R 2.0 situation, is it really worth drafting him? Because having two Alex R's on the team, probably not the best situation, at least young Alex R. So it's going to be interesting to see, man, how this dude pans out. I'm rooting for him, man. South Sudan. I have a buddy who plays in Loyola. He's South Sudani, and those dudes know how to ball, man.
Look, they definitely know how to ball, man. I mean, they're all huge, man. Like most of them are 7-footers, and a lot of them retain a lot of their guard skills, man. So, like I said, a lot of good talent comes out of that part of the world, man. You know what? He screams Alex R, but like I said, Alex R, he's gotten better. And when you're looking at development, when you're looking at what a player can be down the road, which is kind of the MO with Will Dawkins, man, I mean, that could be one heck of a front court, especially if you see Alex R as being the guy where you can slide at the 4, which a lot of people do. I mean, that front court would be a 3-and-D backcourt, would be a two-way backcourt. And when you add that to Bilal Coulibaly and a lot of these rookies are not rookie, the rookies who are defensive-minded guys. Look, Bub is very underrated defensively. Keyshawn George has shown that he can defend at a high level. I mean, this is turning into a defensive team, which I love, man, because I've been screaming for this for years in DC, man. More of a hard-nosed defensive team. So that would be a very intriguing front court. So, and I see in the comments, somebody brought up somebody, and we're not going to go over him real quick, but we will be going over him in the next couple of days, man, or going into next week. Rasheer Fleming is another guy, power forward out of St. Joseph's, man. So 6'9", he's a two-way guy. So they compare him to Antonio Davis. So for all you old heads out there, remember Antonio Davis, he was a dog. So
March Madness coming up, B. I can't wait.
I'm telling you, man, like I said, I'm very excited with all season. It's not to say I'm ready to give up, man, but we all know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to adding more young talent to this team, man, because I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think we're playing a team in 2027. I think that if everything goes right, this team's going to be pushing for a playing spot in 2027, man. And like I said, that is an article I wrote today in SI. So I'm going to shoot you guys the link. So definitely let me know what you guys think about the article. But that was kind of what I was talking about, where my hot take is I think they're playing team in 2027, because I think a lot of this talent, man, once they figure it out, once it clicks, man, once you have the perfect combination with vets and young guys and all the pieces fit, this is going to be a young, dangerous team. And like I said, there's a lot of hard decisions that need to be made in the future. The work ain't done yet, man. But like I said, we're definitely heading in the right direction. So you guys get in the comment section. Let us know, do you agree, disagree on these prospects? And what other prospects could you see would be a good fit in DC if we indeed trade back into the lottery? So we're going to get into comments and start this Friday night off like we always do. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. When a game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started. There's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because with FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game. So even if you missed the opening tip-off or want to bet on fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. And I say, guys, all the time, man, FanDuel is easy to make money with FanDuel, man. If you're a parlay person, this is your jam, man. They have a lot of nice offers and a lot of promotions year-round. Like, so you have the NBA season's about to wrap up. You have March Madness coming up, which is a good time to make money, especially if you're a Duke or UNC fan. And then baseball season coming up. Right now, spring training. So baseball is 162 ways to make money, man. So look, right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the National Basketball Association. All right, AB, let's get in the comments. And like I said, guys, excuse me if I'm not my useful self, man. But like I said, it's been a hard couple of days, man. I'm tired, man. But like I said, I want to get out here, kick it with my guy AB and get this content at you guys, man. So like I said, definitely appreciate it. All the love, guys. And my family really does appreciate it. So let's kick this thing off real quick. Locked the Law says that the Wizards can get 2 top 5 picks, do it. Otherwise, get your big pick and then someone like Queen toward the middle to the end of the first round. I can see that logic too, AB. If you try to make a move, and like I said, the biggest thing with moving back into a lottery is what do you give up? I mean, you're gonna have to give something up, and it's gonna be more than a late first round pick. We're gonna give something up. So, could you be looking at Corey Kispert? And like I said, I'm big on Kispert. I'm big on Jordan Poole. I love both of the games. I think they fit here. But here's the thing: if you make a move with both of those 2 players, you do it. because you don't want to wait another year and do it because you're really the chemistry is going to take a hit. And like I said, I don't personally want to see both of these guys go anywhere. But then I also, as a basketball analyst and sports writer, man, look, the NBA is a business, and you know what it is. So while I do love the game for both of these guys, man, you can see a scenario where they would definitely try to shop both of them, especially if they're intent on moving back into the lottery. So Queen is intriguing, and like I can see him being the top 10 pick right now. People love the energy with him and Merlin, and I think that you're not going to see the final stock for a lot of these guys till the end of the NCAA tournament when the lights are the brightest, when you see how these guys play underneath the bright lights, man, where the games matter the most, man. So let's see. Red Wings on 1 says this all depends on where they land in the lottery. Absolutely. If they land a top 2, then I'd just say stand pat. Both Flag and Harper are franchise altering talents and exactly who we need. If not, trade up. I agree. I definitely agree. If you go Flag and Harper both franchise players, man. They're franchise. Those are the guys who are going to be face the franchise alongside of Alex Sarr and Bilal Coulibaly. But like I said, even if we get a top 2, we can still trade back up. But the biggest thing is, what do you have to give up? And if you're willing to give up, if you're willing to give up Kispert, then maybe you make that move. But if you see both of those players as part of the foundation of this team, then I would stand pat. I think they should be aggressive, but it all depends on what you give up. And you could argue that neither one of those players should be a reason why you don't make a move. Like I said, I think both of them, especially Poole, man, has shown that they put in the work to want to be here long term. But then you also look to see, like I said all the time, maybe it's a business. You got to be realistic. Everybody's tradable outside the young core, and it is what it is. So, but I do agree, Red Wings 01, appreciate you. He also says I'd be okay with Bailey at 3, but if we're at 4 or later, and all 3 of those guys are gone, you got to package those picks. Here's hoping for good. I agree 100%. AB, are you thinking the same thing, man?
Yeah, no, definitely. If we somehow strike out all 3 of them, you definitely got to do that because those we were hoping that one of those guys would be the Wizard. And I was going to ask you, is it for you? Is it the ranking Flag, Harper, and then Bailey, or is it somewhere?
Yeah, I would say it's Flag, Harper, Bailey, and like I said, Bailey screams. He screams franchise player too. But my biggest thing with him as a predominant scorer is his separation and his speed driving the lane. That's one thing I want to see him kind of work on. But like I said, it's Bailey. I mean, you can't go wrong in the top 3. You can't miss the top 3, man. I mean, it just can't. So I do like Bailey, but to me, when you're looking at need. And you can't exactly say Ace Bailey wouldn't be a need either because we need a go-to scorer. Right now, right now you can argue, Jordan Poole's our go-to, but if he's a long-term beast, then you need to take the pressure off him. Like you need the guy to come in and take the pressure off because again, when you look at the roster, Bilal is a guy where he's definitely gonna get better offensively, but is he going to be a guy who's gonna be that second option to take the pressure off of Poole or the third option to, Chris Middleton. He's going to play. He's going to definitely produce, but he's not that Chris Middleton where you can give him, put the game on his back anymore. He's just not that guy. We need guys to step up. And right now, the guys I'm looking at is Bilal and Alex Sarr. So if you can add it, if you don't get Bailey, if you don't get Flag, I think Bailey comes in and he could be him and Jordan Poole could be a heck of a tandem scoring wise, man. And they can give Bilal the opportunity to break out and take his and really work on his game because I think Bilal's he's definitely going to work his tail off in the offseason. So I think we cannot miss, man. I think that we have a lot of options. And I say it all the time. We have options. That's something we haven't had in a long time. Lockton Law says, Brandon, is your daughter okay? Oh, absolutely, man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Lockton Law. She's doing fine, man. Like I said, definitely appreciate the love, guys. Yeah, all is well, man. Definitely, long day, today, yesterday, man. But like I said, doing well. Appreciate you asking, man. Aria Paya says Rasheer Fleming looks like a super interesting prospect. Great size, athleticism, shooting, incredible defense as well. Aria, amen. I agree 100%. Fleming is yeah. That's all I'm going to say. I was looking at him a little bit today, man. Yeah, he can play. He's definitely a two-way player that is very intriguing in the middle into the late stages of the first round. Lockton Law says your 2-guard has to be a consistent scorer. Bilal isn't one. Yeah, that's a good point too. And that's what I'm saying. When you look at a backcourt, you got to have a scorer and you got to have a guy who's defensive minded. And Jordan Poole is a walking basket. Let's be real. Like scoring is just the MO for Jordan Poole, man. So you got your score right there. So Bilal would kind of be the defensive guy. But if you add a Dylan Harper, and Dylan Harper can score in defense. So that wouldn't be a bad backcourt either. Poole and Harper would be a must-see TV. So you can't miss in this draft. You just can't miss. Dan Tico 84 says, would we rather have Queen or Wolf? And it really depends. If we trade back in the lottery, it's Queen. If we stand pat, it's Wolf. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You agree or disagree, AB?
No, definitely, I agree. I was gonna go back to the block with Bali comment. I get it. It's year 2. It was improvement, but I think year 3 is where we really say if there's not that much consistent, if there's not improvement, there's no consistency offensively, then we start to question. I think it's a little too early now.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a little too early because Bilal's going to get there. We knew coming out of the draft that he was going to be very, very raw offensively. Same thing with Alex Sarr, very raw. Bilal has the work ethic. You can't exactly say that everybody's going to figure it out, but I would say this about Bilal, man, just from covering the team. And Bilal's one of those guys who I'm telling you, his work ethic. Matter of fact, today, shout out, I will have a video this week coming out. I'm trying to pull up my email, but I had somebody reach out to me that actually did an interview with Bilal during the Olympic process, man. So, like I said, I'm gonna do a shout out for them because they reached out to me and they let me see if I could pull up. I don't have it on me. I actually saved it, but like I said, I got an article that somebody sent to me that they kind of cover the process of Bilal and a lot of things he's worked on during the offseason with the Olympics and this offseason. So he's working on it, man. You know, it's a work of progress, but we all kind of knew that. But Bilal's gonna go get there. I see him as a potential third or fourth option. That's fine. Like I said, he's definitely going to be a two-way guy who's going to contribute. But Alex Sarr is good, and that's a good thing. AB having a lot of guys in the mix, take the pressure off of guys like Jordan Poole. Take the pressure off of him, because like I said, Chris Middleton will take some pressure off of JP13. Hopefully, he gets back to 100% and he plays tomorrow night, man. Because I know he's been dealing with the elbow injury, man. So hopefully, JP13 gets back healthy, man. So let's see. Arya Paya again says Queen is a lot better than Wolf. You know, I agree, but I don't know, man. Like Queen, Danny Wolf to me screams Nikola Jokic, man. And the reason I say it because the way he moves as a big man, his passing, his ability to shoot from 3 is intriguing. And I think they kind of balance each other out because Derek Queen is more of a dog in the paint, even though Danny Wolf can play in the paint. But the 3-point shot with Wolf, man, intrigues me a lot, especially the fact that he's a 2-way player. He's a 7-footer. I think that if you can't lose, and is another example of how you can't lose in this draft. With Queen or Wolf, you can't lose. And the Wizards are in a sexy spot right now, man, because you have the ability to add some good talent in this draft, to add to a really good young core, a great ensemble of veteran guys and guys who are still young, who are veteran guys in Poole, Kispert, and Saddiq Bey. We're in a good situation. We're going to look after next year. You're going to see some progress. This team's going to challenge for playing spot. I'm telling you, this team's going to be good, man. Just give them 1 year, because I always felt, AB, that the first 3 years, man, were going to be the years where they're going to be the worst. Years 4 and 5, you're going to see us ramp up. 6 and 7, it's money, man. We're cooking with grease at that point, in my opinion. Locked on Law says we'd rather have Wemby, but we got screwed in the draft lottery. Yeah, we were very close to Wemby, but hey, close but no cigar, as they say. Dan TK4 says if we can't get flagged, we have to go after Harper. I agree 100%. I think Harper is the guy you go after if you don't get flagged. I definitely agree with that. Locked on Law says Bailey needs to eat. He needs to eat indeed, and he will in DC. He will, man. Dan TK4 says Bailey is good, but he's strictly an ISO player. He jacks for shot. Yeah, I agree. He's a very ISO heavy guy. And we've had ISO heavy guys in this team, man. Let's be real. I think we can work with him on that. I think that we need a score. Like I said, take the pressure off of JP, allow Sarr and Coulibaly to further develop their offensive game. I think Bailey can come in and definitely be a nice 1-2 punch offensively with Jordan Poole, in my opinion. Justin Caesar, man, how you doing? Says Bailey would be nice. I agree 100%. Aria says Bailey is someone who needs a lot of structure and good coaching to reach his potential, but his potential is crazy. That's a good comment, AB. That is, and that's why I think if he lands in a spot like Washington, where you have that developmental staff, where you have people who are going to work with him and try to develop him to reach that potential, I think that's another good reason why he could fit here. This is a good spot for young players, man. I'm trying to tell you. Dan Tico 84 says Bilal could pattern his game after Bruce Bowen, a solid offensive player, but a dog in D. That's a good comparison too. Have the capabilities to hit the 3-point shot in mid-range, but be that defensive stopper. I can see that with Law, man, because he's a dog defensively. But Law Coulibaly is our stopper. He's that guy that you snap there and guard the best player on the other team. And I have no problem. He's a dog. His offense will come, man. But if he ends up being the 4th best scorer, there's nothing wrong with that, because we need him to shut down the best player on the other team. And he does that well. So I agree 100%. Justin Caesar says, Adam Silver, please give us a top 3. I'm with you on that, man. I don't know if you have to wash the man's car or whatever we got to do, man, but please get that top 3. And I think we will get a top 3, man. Dan 284 says, I see Bilal as a 3. I agree. I see him as a small forward, man. He can play 2 guard, but hey, I mean, do you agree with that? I mean, where do you see Bilal long term, man?
Again, I think it really just depends. It goes back to what we do with this draft. The 3 ideally would be nice, but offensively, if there's improvement consistently putting up 15 to 20 points a game, defensively he's already there, then maybe sometimes the 2. But it all depends on what the Wizards and this front office does in the future.
I agree 100%, man. My man AB over there sound like the Cookie Monster, man. Like,
yeah, my bad, bro. It's getting cold down here in Blacksburg.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Let's see. Lock the Law says Bilal does everything well except scores consistently. If he does that, he's an all-star. Oh, I agree 100%. Bilal Coulibaly is an all-star in the making. Once he figures out a consistent scoring game, man, Bilal's an all-star. I mean, he's a dog on defense. He's an elite defender, and he has the other aspects you want in a guy to get better. I mean, this guy works his tail off. He works to get better. And look, to me, Denny was a good player, but it took him 4 years to really reach that potential. And he's still a guy he's still developing. You know, we've seen some progress from Bilal in year 2, man. And I'm not comparing the 2. I don't want to get into that, man. You know what I mean? They're both really good players. Like I said, I'm very happy for Denny over in Portland, man. Like I said, he found his spot. And then Bilal, like I said, once he figures it out on a consistent basis, we're cooking with gas, man. So we got a couple more real quick before we call it a night, guys. Justin Caesar says, how could we not get top 3, though? I agree. I think it's very slim we get top 5. I think top 3 is definitely pretty much a guarantee at this point. And then Locked On Law says could get as low as number 5. Yeah, it could go as low as 5, but I definitely see us as a top 3, man. I think right now, I would definitely plan accordingly. I would not make it cool flag a bust, man. I would definitely expect that. You know, to me, man, I see Harper. And I like Cooper Flag. I see Ace Bailey, but I see Harper. I do see Harper, man. So, all right, everybody. Like I said, we're gonna call it a night. Definitely appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate the love. Like I said, you know, I wanted to get back into this thing, man, because like I said, sports is an outlet for me. So I definitely wanted to kind of, you know, use this time to chop it up with you guys and really take my mind off a lot of things, man. So definitely appreciate you guys taking time on the night to rock with your boy, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you, AB. Yeah, AB was, you know, him, my guy Ed, man. When, you know, Wiz Takes, Hoopla, you guys were the first guys to reach out to me, and amongst other people. Appreciate y'all, man. It's all love, man. So, all right, guys, we will be going live tomorrow night. Again, guys, I say it every Friday. For all you military people, this is like your Friday safety briefing. Anybody in the military knows what I'm talking about. Please, guys, if you're gonna drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive. Stay at home. We talk about DoorDash all the time. This is DoorDash, man. It could get pricey, but look, I'd rather spend some money than spend time. I'm just saying that. So definitely, if you're gonna drink, you know, enjoy your Friday night. Stay safe, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. You got anything else, AB?
Tomorrow, the Raptors game. I want to see his Wizards team bounce back. Hopefully, you know, a big game. Hopefully, JP plays. Hopefully, Alex Sark continues him 20 points that drop playing recently. Hopefully, that aggression continues, and just hopefully every game is close.
Oh, so real quick, AB prediction: who wins tomorrow night?
Like I said, Alex Sark I think is gonna hopefully put up a game where it's not inconsistency and we see him put 20 points a game. And I think the Wizards come out on top. I think they'll 13 wins of the season. I think Toronto, yeah, they're some solid players, but at the end of the day, the Wizards team, they're just playing with more heart and they're playing like a team. I like the first half of the season.
I like it, man. You heard it here first. I predict tomorrow night. I'm gonna say this: the Wizards they win two straight. Toronto's dealing with a lot of injuries, so I think this is an opportunity to really get that culture in. Because, like I said, guys, we can lose the rest of the games and we still only have a 40% chance. So go out there and get the culture wins, man. Right now, culture and chemistry are important. So like I said, hopefully JP13 plays. He's dealing with a nagging elbow injury, but the news, latest news that he did practice, man. So that is per Varan Shakur from the Washington Post, and you shout out to him. He did say that JP13 did practice, so that is good news, man, because we definitely need his scoring punch. So all right, everybody, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Hail to the Wizards and peace.